afternoon, welcome to the Lillypillystitches studio vlogs. My name is Lisa and I'm coming to you from Brisbane in Queensland, Australia. It's Sunday, what's the date? I think it's Sunday the 13th of September. I'm hopeless with remembering dates, and you can't really see it in the camera, but just over here there's a lot of smoke around because we're getting into the spring summer season, so there's must be some back burning going on to get ready for summer, just to prepare for bushfire season. So it's a bit of a breeze too actually now. It was really calm before and now come out here it's breezy. Anyway, I have a finished object, which you might have noticed that I'm wearing, to share with you, and I have some small progress on my knitting whips, 3 of them, and I've been working on some watercolor, and I dyed some yarn. I've got a couple of little acquisitions to share with you, and what else? Oh, and I've got my giveaway from last week's episode for my 500 plus subscribers. Thank you so much if you've subscribed to my channel recently, and if you're a long-term subscriber, thank you for sticking with me for so long. And yes, I'll be announcing the winner shortly. So without further ado, let's get into it. Actually, one second, I need to show you Sooty. She's joined us for the podcast, but she's just off to the side. Sooty, you want to say hello to everybody on the podcast? You say hi. We're going to go walkies later? Yeah. Good girl, Sooty. Also, Paris would like to say hello. You say hi, Paris. Paris, say hello to everybody. Yes. So Sooty's our eldest Labradoodle. She's a medium. Paris is our second eldest, 3 months behind Sooty. So Sooty's 5 now. She's a pandemic baby puppy, and Paris is 3 months younger than Sooty, and she will be turning 5 next month. And then Paris's daughter Aunty is also with us, and I think she's busy with her bone, so you may or may not see her on this episode. But Aunty is 2.5. So yeah. So anyway, so Sooty's decided to come and sit on the veranda with me and watch, and Paris is hoping for more pats. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so let's talk about my finished object, which I'm wearing. It's a beautiful pattern, a very quick make if you're looking for a wonderful gift to make for someone coming up to the Christmas season or someone's birthday. Then this is the pattern for you. It doesn't use a lot of yarn, so it's perfect for stash busting, and it combines knitting and crochet, which I absolutely love. So let me just take it off so I can show you in more detail. So I didn't have the appropriate size needle and hook available, so I just used what I had. I think it called for 3.75 millimeter crochet hook and needles, but I used a 4 millimeter crochet hook and needles. So my fabric's a bit more loose, open gauge, but I really love it. So this is a very easy pattern to follow if you're new to crochet. I really feel it's an easy one for you to start with, and a nice quick project. So this, the crochet part of it, I finished in one evening, just watching TV, and it sort of creates a, mine's a bit more elongated than Moan, but this is meant to be more of a wedge, but I think it's just the way I've crocheted it with the bigger hook. So The pattern is MDays Scarf by Moan of Crochet Objet, and she has a YouTube channel called MDays. So if you would like to check her out, she has her latest episode. It goes in great detail about this pattern and the different modifications that you can do for it. She also provides some tutorials, so it's a great one to go and check out, and yeah, dive into your stash to find something to make it with. So I think it only uses about 38 grams of the main color, and then hardly any at all for the edge, which is knitted. So you work your crochet portion, and then once you've finished that, I did miss out reading the part, I'm very sorry. I missed out reading the part where it said to do single crochet around it to frame the project before picking up the stitches. I have binocular vision dysfunction and my eyes are crooked, so I tend to not track things on a page, and I'll look at it and miss a whole section. So that's what I must have done for this one, but it doesn't matter, it's still worked out. So it just goes to show you, if you don't have the right hook or needles, or you haven't read the pattern properly, you can still make this beautiful project. So this yarn is my hand-dyed sock yarn in the sea glass colorway, which I have, I think, 2 skeins in my shop available. It's superwash merino sock yarn with nylon, and it's from Nundle Woolen Mill, and you can't really tell, I don't think, on here, but it's like a barely there pale green with blues, and a bit of like very light blue that looks almost white, and that's why I call it sea glass. So that's what I've got left out of my 100 gram skein, so plenty left to make a pair of shorty socks or something. And this only used about 30. Amity, come on, quick, come on. Oh, they're gonna drive me mad. Sorry about the barking. So is this the right way? Anyway, so this I did with that yarn, and then I had some speckle yarn in my stash, a little bit left over from a wait, not just go and sort the dog out. Okay. Put Paris down, they've been barking, so I had to start and stop again. So I'm going to restart the portion I was about to begin. So I've taken off the scarf that I was about to show you. So this is the MDays scarf by Moan of Crochet Objet, and Moan has a YouTube channel called MDays, and I will put a link to it below because it's a wonderful channel to follow. Moan not only is a talented knitter and crocheter and designer from Israel, but she also shares some vlogs of her day-to-day life, cooking beautiful meals for her family and baking sourdough and all sorts of things. So and she also includes some travel vlogs from her holidays with family. So definitely check Moan out and follow her if you're not already doing so. And go and check her patterns out on Ravelry. I'll link this pattern below. So this is the MDays scarf. I can't even remember now if I said that previously, so sorry if I'm repeating myself. And I made this using my sea glass colorway sock yarn, superwash merino nylon sock yarn, and it's like soft minty, very barely there green with pale blues, and it's just beautiful. And I paired it with this yarn I've had in my stash for about 5 or so years. It's from a 80s themed yarn box from the UK, but I can't remember the dyer now. But it has these pops of neon colours on the white, creamy white background. So I put that for the edging, and combined it sort of with the sea glass. It makes me think of when the wave crashes on the shore and you have the white foam from the wave and just the light filtering through the water. Yeah, so that's what I used. I didn't have the called for correct crochet needle or crochet hook or knitting needles, so I think it called for 3.75 and I had 4mm, so hence the reason my fabric is a lot more open than the one shown in the pattern. And I would definitely like to get the correct needles and make another one in more soft autumn colors that would suit me better, to make another one of these, because it flew off the hook and the needles. So I did the crochet portion at the top here one evening while watching TV, and then I picked up my knitting needles and got the stitches on the needle for the knitting portion, and then finished that 2 days later, just doing it in my lunch break at work. So yeah, and I really love the look. It's got these beautiful eyelets in the start of the edging, which just is a lovely little lace detail. Super simple to do. So if you're a beginner knitter and crocheter, really this project is easy to do as a beginner shawl or scarf, and I don't think you'll have too much trouble. It can seem a little bit daunting doing the lace pattern, but as you'll see if you watch the latest episode from Moan on MDays, she goes through and has a little tutorial, so that makes it super simple, and she explains how to do it all, and also any modifications that you can do to, you know, if you're a crocheter only. She also has some information there about adding a crochet edge. So really you can make it whatever you like. I reckon this would look really cute if you were a crocheter. You could do a crochet edge and then add some bobbles to the end, some crochet bobbles. That would look really cute too. So the sky's the limit, really. And if you do make this, please create a Ravelry project page and share this online so that other people can find the pattern. That would really help Mohan with her pattern. So I really love this scarf. This is perfect for like coming up to Christmas gift knitting, because I think the main portion only used about 35 or 38 grams of yarn, and then even less for the I don't think I used that much for the edge. So you can just go diving in your stash for any of the colors that want to go together. There was also another modification to add this color or a different color back in on the last couple of rows, just to add a pop of color on the edge of the fringe. What was I going to say? My brain's gone. I just had it in my head. Just explain about it. Oh, I made a crucial mistake. I've got binocular vision dysfunction, which is BVD, which means my eyes don't line up. So apologies if my eyes aren't looking straight at the camera. It's just hard to do. I have prism lenses in my reading glasses and computer glasses, which help to somewhat correct this, but it's not 100%. And so when I'm reading, I have trouble tracking, so I can look at something, then look away, then look back again, and I might miss a whole section. So I clearly missed the bit about framing the work with some single crochets, but I can do that on the next one, and it didn't affect the pattern overall. It still looks great, and it's just a really lovely scarf. Now mine has turned out super long. I did fully wet block it, so and it is a looser gauge, so it has stretched out quite a bit, but I don't mind that because I like a nice long scarf. And if you made a shorter one, you could even use it as like a head wrap, I reckon. That would look really cute. So let me put it on. Oops, oh, I've got too much hair. Oh. Anyway, I will include some, I need to make that even. What am I doing? Going back that way. That's it. I need to make that even. Okay, so yeah, I've included a link below as well for my Ravelry page, so you can see the details of what I did for this and the photos that I took. And yeah, just a really cute pattern, and I definitely want to make more. And you should check out Moan's Ravelry, because she has lots of lovely patterns, including a really cute polar bear. He's gorgeous. So yeah, go and have a look and see if there's something there that takes your fancy. So that's my finished object for this fortnight. I'm not sure what I'm going to start next, because Wayne's gone away, and I wanted him to wind some yarn up for me so I could make some mittens for our friend Alan. I showed, I think it was in the last video, I showed some yak yarn that they got me from Nepal, from Kathmandu. And I thought I could make some lined mittens with it, with like a sock yarn, DK sock yarn on the inside that's nice and soft, and then the really warm yak yarn on the outside in like a mosaic knit or something. And I have found a pattern that I'm interested in, so stay tuned if I can get Wayne to wind that yarn for me. Otherwise I'll pick something else, like a smaller pattern to work on in between my bigger ones. So now I will show my whips. So this was going to be already into the 3rd row, but disaster happened and I dropped a stitch right near the end, and it was right in the center decreases, and I tried to fix it, and it just I ended up with a gaping hole. I couldn't get it to fix. I couldn't pick it up properly. Normally if it's on anywhere else I could just pick up the stitch, but it didn't work out. So this is my Cozy Memories mitered square blanket, and I had already started this one and got almost to the end, and then had to pull it undone and restart. So that's as much as I've got done, because I started prioritizing my other projects and working on the MDays scarf. So yeah, I'll get this one done this week, and then I can start back down this end for row number 3. But anyway, I'm really enjoying it, and it's a good one too. It's still small enough that I can still take it quite easily to work without it being too cumbersome, and work on it on the train or in my lunch break. So that's that one. Short and sweet. Now, this one is in my sheepy bag from Aunty Nat's Knits. Isn't it cute? She's been making some more, so definitely follow her on Instagram. I think she might have a Facebook page, and she has an Etsy shop. So if you go to my video 2 videos prior, where I talk about the Queensland Yarn Fest, you'll see a link there to her Etsy shop, and you can follow her on there. That way you'll get notifications when it should give you notifications when she uploads new stock. So I've been working on my cloud blouse. Now before I had only got about 1 inch down on the short row shaping, so I've now completed the short row shaping, and I'm just working down till this portion reaches 14 inches, and then I'll be able to go on to the next portion. So at least it's just back and forth, which is a really great commute knit, and I'm really loving this lightweight fabric that it's creating, holding the 2 strands of mohair together. So, and I think that colour's in my colour wheel for soft autumn. So I'm really going to love this. I'm thinking I'll probably crop it, because I wear mostly dresses, so that way it'll sit nicely if I wear a dress or a skirt. Yeah, so that's what I've got up to so far. I'm just using my little needle stoppers that have a Paris theme. I don't know if you can see There's sort of a bit of an Eiffel Tower there. These are great, the needle stoppers. They are so helpful because especially with my champagne cardigan, a few times I've nearly dropped stitches when I haven't been careful, so I wouldn't want to put it in my project bag because I'd lose half my stitches. So yeah, so that's what I've done so far. Really enjoying it. So I think the next thing is the saddle for the shoulders, and then it'll be joining in the round to just work my way down before adding in the sleeves. And this is like a rolled collar, so as long as it's not too oversized, because I was naughty, and I will confess I didn't do a swatch for this one. So I'm hoping that I won't live to regret that. But I have seen some people add on a ribbed collar, so that brings it in. So if that's the case, I might be able to do that. But fingers crossed, it'll turn out okay. So this is for the back, I think, for the shoulder, the short row shaping. Yeah, so anyway, really enjoying that. I could do with being on a bit longer cable, but for now it's okay. So that's that one. And my last whip that I've been working on is in my Creative Garage pineapple bag, and that's my champagne cardigan, which I have these cool coffee cup leopard print needle stoppers, and I'm using this bubblegum pink in the Sunness Garn tin mohair and double Sunday, and holding them together for this project. And this is more like an oatmeal colour. So this, have I got the colour? Well, one of the colours for the double Sunday is 2351 and 4315 for the for one of the mohairs, but I've got it on my project page, so go and check that out there so that you get the right colours if you're interested in what I have used. So it doesn't look like I've made a lot of progress, but I have. I'd only virtually just started the ribbing when I showed this last time, I think, and now I've got 2 inches down, and I have another 2 inches to go. Then I've just got 2 rows of double knitting to do, and then I can do the Italian bind off, and then the bottom ribbing's done, and then I think the next thing is to do the button band and then the sleeves. So I still got a lot to do, but at the same time I'm more than halfway finished, so it feels good. I might see if I can, wait a second, I'll see if I can pop it on. It won't be fully, it's on the, I haven't got the extension cables on it, but you can get the idea. Wait a sec. Okay, so this is going to be a sort of oversized, it's going to have quite a bit of positive ease cardigan. Looks a bit weird now because I haven't got the button band. And then if I just put that down a sec there, you should be able to see the bubblegum pink for the button. So that's going to frame that nicely, I think, to have that on the cuffs, and along here that'll just be that nice pop of pink. And then I have, not in here, but I've shown it before, I have hello let me come back, wait on. Okay, once the sleeves are properly done, it'll sit better, I think, but it's meant to be like quite oversized. What was I gonna say? I keep losing my train of thought. I'm really tired today. I did not sleep at all last night. we recently had next door had an intruder or something, and the police were outside with their torches, and I got woken up by it, and I didn't know it was the police at first. I yelled out to Wayne and he followed behind me, and then I yelled out, "Oi, who's there?" And then they're like, "Police," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." Anyway, I've still been on edge, so I haven't been able to sleep, especially with Wayne being away. So yeah, so this is going to be an oversized cardigan that'll be just nice and cozy on really cold days. Not that we get super cold days here in Queensland, but I'm looking forward to going to the Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show in 2026, so it'll come in handy then. So this is a raglan style cardigan, and just looking here, like it's probably a little bit, maybe, I don't know, maybe that's too big. But I did the larger size, and I got gauge and everything, but I sort of wanted to err on the side of caution. But I don't mind having an oversized slouchy cardigan, because this is what I wanted it for, was to go over even another top, like a thicker top, and it's sort of like a coat when you're not having a coat. So yeah, so that'll, I mean, already I'm feeling with the wind here, it's just really nice and warm because it's got the mohair. It's really creating a nice tight knit fabric that's not going to let the air in. So yeah, really enjoying that. Yeah, so that's all of my projects for knitting for this week. So if you're not interested in non-knitting news, I will just announce now the winner for the yarn giveaway from my hand-dyed yarn, and it'll also include a couple of other goodies from my shop, and this is my coral hand-dyed yarn in the coral colorway. So it's a beautiful corally red with lighter colors, almost white in there, and then flecks of this Pacific blue, and it's just a really pretty yarn, and it's super soft. It's from Nundle Woolen Mill, so it was spun and hanked up in Nundle in New South Wales, and then I hand dyed it here in Queensland. So this yarn is really, really pretty. I think there was lots of great suggestions with people's comments. Thank you to those who've commented. Some people thought they'd make socks with it. Others might combine it with something else to make a lovely shawl. Yeah, lots of potential projects for this, including the MDays scarf you could do. And then if you found some yarn that was like, had blues in it or a creamy color, that would just go nice as the you know, as the edging. So without further ado, the winner of this lovely beautiful hand-dyed yarn is Pauline Morrow. I think it's 7260. I'll put the details down below the screen, and if you want to send me a direct message via Instagram at either lillypillystitches or lisalovesstitchin, or you can email me at lillypillystitches@yahoo.com. I'll put the details below. Send me your address and I will get this and the other little items in the mail to you, so that it can hopefully get off next week to you and you can start using this. So that's that. And then I dyed some more yarn last weekend, so I thought I'd just quickly share that with you. So this color is called Shoreline, and it just reminded me of when it's got like sandy beige under as the base, and then I added these beautiful teal blues, which just reminds me of when, you know, on the shoreline where the water's almost see-through and you can see the sand filtering through. So this is the colorway, and I have 2 of these available in my shop. So I've just started dyeing yarn, hand dyeing, and I have 1 pot and I have no budget for doing this. So I just buy small batches of yarn undyed, and at the moment, and then I'm dyeing up little very tiny micro batches of different colorways. So I'm taking notes so that I can have my recipe book to recreate these. And yeah, so if you would like a small batch hand dyed sock yarn, merino nylon from Nundle Woolen Mill, and hand dyed by me here in Queensland, head over to my Etsy shop, the link's below, and you can snap up one of these. So there's 2 of these colorway, and then I have this one, and this is beautiful sort of red, pinky red, with a little bit of a lighter color. I'll take this one out so you can see it. So this is also available 2 skeins in my shop. So this is the flame tree colorway. We have a flame tree in our front yard. It's very tall now. It's taller than the house. And they have beautiful red, orangey red flowers on it every year. So it's a native Australian tree, and yeah, this beautiful colorway is called Flame Tree. So that's also available, 2 of, in my shop. So snap those up if you would like one of them. And I always recommend, especially with colors like this with the red in, that you also do a swatch if you can, and wash it and make sure that there's no bleeding. I do rinse it really well, but you know, there's always that chance with these strong colors, especially reds, that there might be some bleeding. So especially if you're going to combine this with a lighter colored yarn, I would definitely hand wash in cold water and just make sure there's no bleeding before you combine it with anything. So these 2 colorways are available right now in my shop. So that's that. Love my little basket. So that's those. I recently shared that I bought a I've still got the, how embarrassing, I've still got the ugly from earlier in the year when we had Cyclone Alfred. I still have the ugly tape on the windows. I've pulled it off everywhere else, but just haven't done it there because just haven't done it. So I recently got a watercolor kit from Sue Worry, and I'll put her link to her shop below. But I also bought some little notebooks that she has on offer in her shop, and they just have little dotted lines, and I'm using this as my little recipe book for my yarn dyeing adventures. So there's the coral colorway, so I'm just keeping samples, and then I'm coming back and writing down the recipe which I saved in my phone. So this one's the seaweed colorway, shoreline and flame tree. So yeah, I mean, this won't last too long, but I just wanted to get a start on tracking those recipes and keeping an example of what I dyed. So she has all those sorts of little mini journals available in her shop, and then I just stamped the front of mine with some flower stamps that I had, and just put dye book on there with my little letter stamps. This is the watercolor kit that I was using of the bookshop, and she puts together this beautiful compendium with instructions on how to get started and tips and tricks. She includes these color palettes that you can actually use the colors off with your watercolor, and she includes brushes, paint brushes, whoops, and you also get the full color palette here, which you can see I've already been using. And she includes this section, which you can use as a bookmark later, but I've already painted that which you might have seen some video footage before I started the podcast. And then she gave me the 2 main cards of the shop to do up. So you get 2 sheets, and she's drawn the picture, and then you can come in and paint it. And then this is some extra sheets she had where it was a bit more faded, the print, and so I've started practicing here. So this is great because you can practice and then go, oh, I didn't like how I messed that up, so you can, you know, improve before you do the main ones. So that's what I've done so far on my little shop. Nothing too fancy, but really fun and relaxing to do. And she also included a little couple of pictures of the bookshop that she'd painted, so that you could see, have an idea how you might colour yours. So that's definitely, you know, I'll put the link again to her shop down below. I ordered, because I loved it so much, I ordered 2 more kits, one for a friend for Christmas, and this one, oops, that wind's quite strong. This one for me. So this one, I haven't opened it. It's got the extra colour palette. It's got 3 paint brushes to get started with, plus the same sort of compendium as this one. So that's really cute. I might open this one now because I can show you what the little, what it looks like. Ooh. I may package this up and save this for me for Christmas, to open at Christmas and do over the holidays. Yeah, so I might put this back in and pretend I didn't open it. I do a lot of that lately, don't I? So yeah, so you've got the instructions here, and then you've got your practice and your palette, your practice section, and then, oops, then you've got your one to do here. There's a couple of sheets there. Oops, and then she's got like a sheet here just to protect those from getting colour on. And here's an example of what she gives you is 2 options for different ways you can style your painting and colour. And these are great as little gifts. I gave one to my cousin, and I kept one for me of the bookshop. And I thought I might put in a little frame on my bookshelf when Wayne builds my bookshelf eventually. And then you've got this extra little palette with the brushes. So there goes my yarn dyeing book. The wind has really picked up. So just pop that there and see if I can get that back in without ruining everything. Come on. There we go. Perfect. So now I can wrap that up and pretend I didn't look at it. So this one's an antique shop that I got, and there's another one which is a fruit shop, and Sue also very kindly included this journal with crafty embellishments on it, and that's her store there. And she said that she can do these for my shop and personalize them for lillypillystitches, so I may look into that. That sounds like a good idea. My other acquisitions that I got recently was yesterday I went to Kmart, which, if you're not familiar with Kmart, it's like a discount department store here in Australia, and it's very popular. Anyway, they had these silicone, oh, now I've got it dirty. These silicone water cup holder for your paintbrushes. Isn't that cute? And it flattens out, and it's because it's silicone, it's not going to move around, and then you just pop it out and you've got a water cup like that, and it sits, and then it's got spots for you to put your colors that you're using, like a little palette, and also you can fit your brush in here to hang down so it can dry. And yeah, And then it's got like a little textured, if I pop that back in on itself, get in there, come on, there we go. It's got like a little textured bit there to help clean your brushes. So I got that to add to my painting kit. And then I found these scratch and sniff stickers at Kmart, so I got them. I don't know that they smell they don't particularly smell like anything. They're scented, but they're not, they don't really, except for maybe the orange one might have an orangey smell, but they all smell the same. But anyway, they're cute. So I've got these stickers that have scratch and sniff. And I got, I think they were $3.50, $8. I think this was about $10. So I got this big spiral bound notebook with croissants on, and it's just got lined pages, but the beauty of it is it lays flat because you've got the big spirals. And I'm actually going to use this because I thought about it recently. Some of the recipes I cook I've modified for myself, how I like to make it, and I thought I should really capture those in my own little recipe book so I don't forget what modifications I do. So I thought I'd buy that to start capturing my favorite recipes, and you know, I can also cut them out of magazines that I find or whatever and stick them in as well, and then add notes where I've modified stuff. So yeah, so I got that to work on. I think that's it for this week, this fortnight. So hopefully I'll have some more progress. I'm hoping I'll have finished the ribbing and started working on another section of my champagne cardigan by the time I come back to you, and also be finished the back and forth knitting on my cloud blouse to the point where I'm doing the shoulder saddles, and maybe have done another small project if you're lucky. And I do have a little bit more yarn left to dye, so I may have some more hand-dyed yarn. But head over to my Etsy shop and check that out. Don't forget to visit MDays on YouTube and Crochet Objet on Instagram and Revelry, and check out the beautiful scarf pattern, and tag me if you post it. I'd love to see what you make. And Pauline, if you can get in touch with me, that would be wonderful, and I can send that prize off to you hopefully next week. All right, till next time, happy stitching and crafting, and I'll see you next time. Bye.